Hello there. In this video, I'm going to talk briefly about how you can set up your machine to run the TestNg. So first of all, what the TestNg? TestNg is a testing framework tool that will help you write the tests or execute them. There's another framework similar to this, which is called JUnit. JUnit is more related towards writing the unit test rather than functional test. However, you can set up your test scenarios based on not dependent to each other, but make that as a suite or all steps definitions that is part of the one single test. Then it will be executed as just the integration test. Okay. In my all other videos, we've been testing all of our tests in JUnit. So if you would like to know more about JUnit, please refer to my other videos. So this is the test. I'm going to just show you what the TestNg can do differently than the JUnit may not. Okay. So TestNg typically means the test next generation. Okay, ng is for next generation. TestNg basically got launched because just to overcome with some of the difficulties that JUnit had. First of all, default issue JUnit had is if you have multiple when I meant with a test is any test that has @test annotations. So with the @test annotations, if you have, let's say you want to run 5 tests, then neither one of the tests can be dependent to each other, right? So you have to make those each test to be independent. If there's anything that's, for example, your test 1 is expected to launch the browser, test 2 is expected to log in the page, test 3 is expected to get into the account details, right? Then if your test does not run, if your test 2 does not run, then test 3 cannot run. Basically that fails. If you had those into the JUnit, then there's no guarantee which test may execute first. If there are tests, then those anyone can run. But in TestNg, they look alike. TestNg does most similar things that JUnit does. One of the other thing that TestNg does is that you can prioritize your each of the tests. So you can say priority equals 0, 1, 2, 3. Starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want. Okay, you can have multiple tests and then you can even serialize them. So that's the one of the best thing TestNg can do. There are different things that you can do with the TestNg also. So if you were to run test within the suites, then you would have a class into JUnit, but TestNg you can run into add the testing classes inside the XML configurations, and it will just go to run. So that file would be at testng.xml. Okay. There are other things that TestNg can do is there's some report generation for free. Okay, so TestNg comes with some sort of HTML reports so that you can have a better graphical representations. However, there are other report generating tools or features that you can apply to your framework, like extent reporter, and those are more kind of graphical representation of test, but TestNg gives you one for free. It does not look much informative, but it is better than what JUnit does. Okay. When you do TestNg, basically 2 things you need to do to set up. One thing is, if you have a Maven, your life is halfway down very easy. Okay, if you have a Maven, just go ahead and go to google.com, your favorite site, and then you search for TestNg Maven dependencies. Okay, when you go there, try to find Maven repository for TestNg, and you can pick whatever the latest one. Just take the full version, so I'll take 610 for now. Okay, So you just copy this whole thing. Okay, copy the whole thing. The top line is the comment section. So this is the comment section for XML related files. So you don't really need that, but all you need is this dependency tag open till it closes. Dependency is just a tag. So this dependency tag open and end contains these four things, and then that will, once you have this saved into the pom.xml, then it will go download TestNg files, archive files from this location into your machine, and that is all done for you for free. Okay, so if I go to my machine here, I have already downloaded dependency with that. Okay, I have a 6.8 version, but that should be fine. So once I do that, there's another thing you need to do. Let me show you one quickly. Why do you need to do that? Okay, so if you come here, this is the test that I have been running. I run through JUnit test. Okay, I don't have TestNg installed into my machines yet. So if I just do right click here, which is obvious that all I have the option is the JUnit test. Okay, then let's say if I want to get this commented out, and obviously it is going to show me there, and I could just hover here. There's options for me, either have the JUnit test or TestNg. Both these test annotations are both of TestNg as well as JUnit has other test annotations. So code wise you don't see much of the difference running either one of those. Okay, if you want to run that test as a TestNg, same annotation, so you don't have to change. All you need to do is, instead of having org.junit, you would be importing as import org.testng.annotations. Okay, so now this test, if you go here, this test here is a TestNg. You can just hover here and look at this TestNg. Okay, so now when you do right click here, you don't see TestNg options at all. It is still showing you run configurations, run configurations. So which means TestNg isn't set up. So two things which you need to do is, one, you have to install the tool, another, you have to install the file. So first thing is, when you see TestNg options here, this is coming from your pom.xml, which means your build path has a TestNg already, but your Eclipse, this STS or Eclipse tool, does not have a TestNg yet. So you have to download that just like you did in the Cucumber test. Okay, so let's go with the downloading part. So to download that, you have to go to help. Okay, in the Eclipse, go to help, and then what do you do? Install new software. And then when you come into this window, now you have to click add. Okay, now you type in TestNg, N capital, into the URL where you type http://beust.com/eclipse. Okay, so this is the URL you'd be typing, beust.com/eclipse. Then just hit OK. Okay, so once you add that, go into this drop down and select that TestNg which you installed. You just added. So once you have that, if that is the valid URL you typed in, it will show like that into the work with. Type in filter, you don't have to do anything there, and it will automatically pull in the downloading file here. Just do that checkbox, just check this in, and don't do anything else, just do next. Okay, and then it will now install TestNg for you. So this is how very easy TestNg is. All you worry about is add the button, type in whatever name you want that to be, TestNg, the URL must be accurate, and then it will automatically populate. Just hit the check button, and then you hit the next. It will start downloading. Give this about couple minutes. Okay, now if you come here, it is showing you all of those options. I'll just take anything default, so I'll don't do anything there. I'll just do next. I have to accept the conditions, and then I do finish. Okay. If you come into the bottom, you see installing software, and it is showing you the green bar at the bottom, and that's all it is doing. So as soon as you did that, it is now downloading that TestNg tool into your this workspace. Okay, once that is done, you are all set, and then you would just simply right click here, right click into the test, and then run as. It is not there yet because it's not installed. You might have to restart your Eclipse for that purpose, and then once you restart your Eclipse, then your test is already there. Let's do that. Give this a few more minutes. Okay, so installation is done. Now it is asking me to restart this, so let me come back. Okay, I restart it and right click and do the run as. There's still options for TestNg because I installed it in my machine, and JUnit is because that's the JUnit here. I have it JUnit, right? That's the active. But if you do the TestNg here, it is just going to do nothing because there's no test. It is looking for TestNg annotations, but there's nowhere annotations, so it is just going to do nothing here. There's nothing. It says passed, but that it does not mean anything. No test even ran. Okay, because there wasn't any. So let me uncomment this. Let me show you how the TestNg is going to work now. Let me save it. Okay, now if I come here and see, that is the part of the TestNg, so that got changed, so which means this test is same. So after test is same, even if it is JUnit or TestNg. Now run as is showing only TestNg. Let me click this and see the difference. Okay, now it is going to run my usual test. It is going to launch that demo site, and then it goes to navigate. So if you see here, initializing browser, that started this method already. Okay, let's wait a few minutes, and then it launches me the browser, and we will complete the test, and then we'll further show you how the reports are being generated in the TestNg. And if you see, the Chrome is being started here, the red icon is there, red words, URL is being launched now. Okay, it is going to the register page. Okay, so if you come back, so looks like the test completed, and let's come back. So coming back, this is how your report is going to look like at the TestNg. So this means the test got passed. It has better view, that it is showing you all different graphical representations. So it has a green icon and all that stuff. And if you come here in the console is going to show you the time it took and all the results. It says the test name is passed. It says any failures or anything that got skipped. It even shows you the time that it ran. Okay, and then let's show you one more thing that I want to show you. And you want to see this reports here. It is what it is. So it is saying how much it took and all. You have kind of table here. And beside this, there's another HTML representation of this test. Let's show you that. So once your first test runs, just go ahead and refresh your project, right click and refresh. And then when you refresh this, you're going to see one extra folder called test output. Go into that, inside that, and there's where all the reports are being generated. And with the TestNg, you pick up that. So the report is index.html and emailable report.html. Let's open that. And then when you go into that file, inside that index.html and then emailable report, there are these type of reports that will be generated. It says where your test is running from, what is the status. It shows you passed, it shows you the minute, and it shows you the start time. And then you can simply, if it fails, you can see the stack trace or failure log. So which is kind of basic, better view that you could see. There's another report, let me show you that also. So this is the another report here, and one is the emailable. These two reports are being generated from TestNg. These are given for you on free, and if you click there these links, it shows you like a more detailed view of what this test ran and how kind of status basically. Okay, and you could just simply click any one of these. It has a location and all that. One other thing, so now if you run another test, then this test which is here is going to get overwritten. So this test is just temporary, it'll go away as soon as you run another test. So if you run some test that failed, then that past test no longer there, it is replaced by the new one. Okay, so that's all you should understand about the TestNg running. And then we're going to talk about more of other annotations that are available, as well as how you can collect them as a suite in order to run into my next video. How the TestNg flavor is. Okay, thank you very much. And also in my further video, I'm going to show you how you can prioritize with two or different multiple tests, make the dependent to each other. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching this video.